Good morning, guys. I had made this video yesterday and forgot to upload it because I went to go look for my videos today to see this, and I guess I forgot to upload it. Anyway, let's do this again. The beta test is now officially closed. Thank you very much for everybody who participated. It really did help. As you can see, we got this thing to 640 transactions pretty darn quickly, actually. I think it was about 24 hours, and boom, this thing was locked up tight. I do have a little bit of information. The big issue that we wanted to test was the gas issue. In the first round of the beta test here, we ran into a problem where people were running out of gas. They had to put a crazy gas limit on there, like 500, 600,000 gas limit for it to go through, and that was just unacceptable. So I do have some information on that. Give me 1 second to pull it up. Okay, here it is. This was the ether scan of the 640th transaction to go in there. So this is the one that locked the contract, the absolute last one. And as you can see, right here, put that somewhere else. Let me put that on the other side there. My screenshot caught the button that I normally grab right there. Anyway, as you can see right there, the gas used on that final transaction was only 115,000. Just shy of 116. So I'll say 116,000 gas was used in the final transaction. Now, I was watching this as it was going. And anybody who watches these things knows that the gas price will fluctuate, or the gas used will fluctuate from transaction to transaction. It just kind of depends on what the network's doing at that time. Now, there are obviously things that we can do on our end to keep this as low as possible, and we have done that. So we did optimize that. Because the original version, we did not optimize it, and the gas price was starting to get pretty high. The actual gas used. Once again, the price that you pay, that's 100% dependent on the network. We can't control that, But how much you use, there are some things we can do for that. So we have done those. And then I also have, just after it hit 600 transactions, once I got up into the 600s, I created a whole new wallet and put in a round of play there on that new wallet. And on the fresh wallet, that one only used 88,000. So it is a little bit less, and of course, once again, the fluctuations in the actual amount that I used will vary. I saw a couple for like 68, I believe. 67, something like that, on the fresh brand new wallet. So as time goes on and as you play a particular wallet more and more and more, it does seem to use a little bit more gas, which I'm not surprised by, because our programmer changed it to, when you put in a transaction, it'll only check your previous transactions versus everyone's transactions, which is why we were running into the gas issue in the first place. But that rise should be very minimal. It should be very, very gradual, very, very slow. And if you ever start running into issues in, say, round 5 or 6, if you've been playing the whole time, my advice on that point would be maybe just make a new wallet to play with. Transfer your 2 Ethereum that you were going to be sending through on your original wallet into the new one. That's really not, it's the best solution I can offer, because we've done as much as we can to increase optimize the gas usage in this contract. So either you're going to have to increase your gas limits if you have played this thing a couple hundred times, or just, get a new fresh wallet to play with. It's one or the other, folks. I'm sorry. It's the best I can do. But other than that, the beta test, I think, went great. I was very happy to get everyone participating. You know, there are a lot of people getting a hold of me saying, hey, everything's working good, or, you know, hey, I ran into this small little issue. One thing I did want to clarify here, with the limit, with the 4-transaction limit, I don't know if this is on MetaMask or if it's on us, because my programmer can't figure out any way to adjust this on MetaMask. But as you can see here, here's one of my test wallets. I had already put in 4 active transactions, and so I put these 2 in on top of it just to test this out. As you can see, I got 2.5 ETH transactions that are pending right here, and I've got 5.406 ETH. When those processed and when those cleared, it still says that it processed and cleared, right? Wakanda, MetaMask. And yeah, I was watching Black Panther over the weekend, so I was like, okay, let's get silly with some of these names here, for my test wallets. So MetaMask, it looks like these went through, but if you go look at the Ethereum, it cost me 0.0005 in gas average on those 2 transactions, but that's it. It didn't actually take any Ethereum out. But it was causing a little confusion because people were thinking that, the Ethereum was getting put into the contract somewhere and they just weren't getting credited for it. And that's just not the case. The contract is coded to where you're only allowed to have 4 active transactions. If you try and put in a 5th or a 6th or a 27th, whatever, it'll just reject that transaction. And if you click on these transactions, you'll get the failure and contract reverted code. That's the way it is. Normally, you would see an error message pop up on MetaMask. It wouldn't have that regular, because at a glance, it looks like those 2 went through. So there were a couple of people that thought that was going on. I went ahead and tested it. And then I asked the people that got a hold of me, hey, go look at those transactions and tell me if they were a success and if you got charged for that 0.5 ETH. And everyone that brought that to my attention, they both said, like, no, I didn't actually get charged, but it looks like I did, which is kind of weird. So that may be on MetaMask, may not be on us. I'm not really sure. But the contract functions as it's supposed to. So the gas and that were the 2 big issues that I was aware of. Actually, I think those are the only 2 issues that I was aware of. Other than that, I think everything went really, really well, really, really smooth. So we're going to set a launch date for Teris. This thing is going to go live this upcoming Friday. What is that, September 14th? Yes, September 14th. At 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 2100 Eastern for you military types. That is when it will be going live. You can actually play this for real Ethereum and actually make money doing it. So it's going to be a good time. If the Gears of War releases taught me anything, is that it definitely pays to be early and it pays to watch this on launch. Because every single Gears release, except for Famine, I happened to be moving that day, so I was on the road when it released, and I was pissed because I like to be there at launch and just get through as many times as I can before it starts slowing down. So I'm expecting this to be a lot of fun. I'm expecting it to be very hot, very heavy. Unfortunately, I don't even know if I'm going to have the Ethereum to play this thing myself. I'm going to try to go ahead and pick up some cheap Ethereum when I get paid, because it's a great time to buy Ethereum right now. I mean, shit, you can't beat this price. But all of my money is being sunk into this game, into upcoming games, and into the company itself. So I'm going to see if I can't get myself a little bit of Ethereum to play a little bit. But most of my money is dedicated towards bringing you new and better games in the future. So, once again, that is this upcoming Friday at 2100 Eastern Standard Time. That's 9 o'clock at night. I'm very, very excited about it. I think it's going to be a really good time, and I can't wait. I I can't wait to get started on this. It's going to be a good time. You know, I'm hoping that we get this thing locked up within a couple of days or less, so we can go ahead and also take advantage of the current cheap arbitrage coin price and get more coins for our money there, which will result in a larger ABOT once we start it, faster clear times, and ultimately it's going to free the Ethereum from the gears that much sooner. So I'm very excited about everything on this project. It's coming together very, very nicely. I'm liking it a lot. We do have a much bigger project in the works that should be coming out in a month or two, but we're not quite ready to release more details on that yet. We're trying to focus 100% on Teris right now, get this thing launched, and do it right. Do it the right way. That's the whole point of this. Anyway, that's all I got for this morning. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I know I did. Enjoying the beta testing and all this, that, and the other. So I will catch you guys later. Have a great day.